Alrighty, and we are live. Hello, NJ. Beat me to the punch. Not even live yet, and you're saying hello. Welcome to Writing Sprint Wednesdays or Word Sprint Wednesdays with your double host, myself, Doug Lansborough. We're on deck for 3 writing sprints as per usual today, 20 minutes apart with 5 minutes in between. I'm dropping the link to the first one in the chat down below, and below me you will see all 3 links. Before I say hello to everyone, I want to take a moment to just remind everyone, if you haven't yet, be sure to subscribe to the channel. Encourages us to keep doing these, gives us a reason to keep doing them. And hit that like. Let your friends know that we're doing this. Your writing friends or your non-writing friends, preferably the former, but we'll take the latter too. Hello, everybody. Let me start from the top because I see we have B here, and JM Brown, and David, and NJ, and Aaron, and Elena, who has some good news. You're going to be starting your bachelor's thesis on Roman history, I saw. That's fantastic. That's so cool. Any specific part of Roman history? Let me know. Emily is in here with us. Hello, hello. And who else do I have here? I have Iva with me, and Ashley, and Chris, and Stacy, and Shelly. Hello, everybody. And Rosalinda is in here as well. Normally, I come to these writing sprints with something in mind, some topic I want to discuss, but no, today, open forum in between our writing sprints. So if you have something you want to chat about, if you have a question about anything, feel free to drop that in between, or just hang out. I just like being here with you, writing our words. Let me know what you are writing today. And you know what? Fun question for you. Let me know what you're going to be writing once you're done your current work in progress, if you got something brewing up here. For me, that would be the 4th book in my dark fantasy series. That's on deck for later this year. Although later this year is rapidly approaching because this draft is almost done. So I'm very, very excited. All right. So let me make sure that everything is all set here. As always, it seems I'm listening to my dark lo-fi chill playlist, which really isn't haunting in the least. But I've become so used to it. It gets me into the zone. It's part of this ritual that I've adopted, doing writing sprints, and it just makes it a little bit easier to get the creativity flowing. On top of that, I have my handy coffee, freshly brewed, too hot for me to drink right now. But I'll probably be letting that fuel me through our next couple sprints as well. All right. Oh, Rosalind has 30 hours to finish and upload this manuscript to make your pre-order deadline. That's quite a bit of stress. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. That sounds very stressful. I've never been in the situation where I've needed to cut it that close, but I've also never been in the situation where I personally am publishing as quickly as you are. The best-selling books that I have, the urban fantasy ones, were all published by my co-author. So I didn't have to have that stress. I just got to focus on the writing for those ones. Electrical's here as well. Currently working on a dark romance novel, editing a scandalous scene. Ho ho! I might move on to a lighter romance after this. Yeah, fair. You gotta have a little palate cleanser every now and then. All right. I have a minute to go before we start here. And David's writing short story for Isabel's fantasy collab over at W Campus, formerly the Storycraft Cafe. That's fantastic. I'd love to see that. NJ's using some of the sprints to prep for your writing group today. Let me know how that's going, NJ. Been a bit since I got an update from you. And okay, yeah, Elena, you don't know your thesis topic yet because you haven't spoken to your supervisor, but I'm looking forward to hearing what it's about. It's a broad range that you can tackle there. And I remember back when I was in school, Roman history was particularly interesting. So I can help you out, or not. I can't help you out, but I can. I go to commiserate, but that's the bad one. I can celebrate with you. I can have a good time hearing about your thesis. And Ashley's writing dark romance. Awesome. All right, we got 20 seconds before our first sprint starts here. Let me get this up on screen. There we go. All right, I'm going to cue up my music. Okay, yeah, and I haven't seen the kids for 2 weeks of the Easter break. That's fair. That's fair. All right, here we go. We're starting the writing. I'll see you all in 5 or 20 minutes, and we'll chat then. Happy writing. All right, everybody. So ends our first sprint of the day. Let me do that. Make my face big again. I got myself 862 words that time around. I'm feeling pretty good. So let's see how we all did here. Renee arrived whilst we were sprinting and is set up for the next one. So welcome, Renee. Shelly got 588. B got 549. Thinks you're lagging. In writing or in the sprint, or like in the video. Ashley coming in with the 814. Great job. Aaron, 31 words and 1 page of the Nano Draft revised, and Emily, 377 words. I know I asked this last time, but thinking again, how much is left in your current work in progress, everybody? I always think about that when I see Aaron's 1 page edited, 3 pages edited. It's slow but steady progress, right? OMB's timing in YouTube is lagging. Try refreshing, see if that helps. Elena got 247. Awesome. Rosalinda got 141 in the last 5 minutes. The rest of the time you were editing a scene, which was 2 words. Love it. Electrical got 330. David got just shy of 300. And Chris, 0, because I'm rereading what I wrote to get inspired to continue Act 3. That's important, especially if there's any kind of time in between when you're writing, like last time and when you're writing now. You need some time to get back into it. Sometimes I've gone in cold, and then you're just taking the time to kind of stumble your way through until you pick up speed, and you have to go back and revise a little bit more. So Renee got 24 chapters left to edit. Hey, you're making progress. That's good. And if you have a plan, then you can know, how many chapters you have to edit each day or every other day to be done by a certain time. B doesn't know how much is left. Aaron, looks like you have 41 pages left to revise. Oh, you're making great progress. Awesome. I love to see it. So I dropped the link for the second sprint in the chat there. Make sure that if you're following along in wordsprints.org, you copy and paste your words as we go. It makes it easier in the third one to just grab them all, paste them into Dabble or whichever word processor you choose to use. That's not the best in the entire world. B gutted your original draft and took out a lot. You're totally redoing the entire beginning. Honestly, the more I get into the climax of my current book, the more I'm thinking that's going to happen as well. Just because I've talked about this before, but I did a lot of planning for the first half of the book and very bare bones planning for the second half. And now that we're into almost the climax now, there are things that are like, hey, I want this to be here, which means I'm going to need to go and rewrite an entire chapter or add an entire scene earlier on. But that's just how it goes sometimes, right? And that's just the beauty of exploring your way through a story. Even when you have those guardrails or that map that you created, you still have to go back and do some edits afterwards. So I feel you, B. I get you. We might not have time for everyone to answer this right now, but in addition to our writing sprints and the stuff that we're doing a lot more events. Like we're doing some at the cafe, we're doing more live streams on the channel here. What content do you guys all want to see, or do you all want to see? We think that we know best. We think that we have some great ideas, and I mean, we do have some great ideas. But if you have any ideas for some kind of content or an idea to talk about or a topic that you want covered, feel free to let me know sometime between now and the end of the sprint, or in the comments down below if you're using this as an accountability tool after the fact. Or if you just have an idea, you can post it over at W Campus. But since I'm here and can chat about it, let me know. Electrical, that reminds me of that one time when I realized I did my book wrong for 4 years and did revisions of 6 chapters about 8 times. That sounds painful. B, how to figure out the right genre. Okay, cool. I can work with something like that. NJ saying, hey Doug, do you know if there's a goal setting sheet on Dabble somewhere, free download type thing? I did a goal setting workshop about 3 months ago, and that was a public facing one, so not even a premium one. Let me go and find that. I'll do that during the sprints or maybe afterwards, and I'll have it for next time. But you might be able to just go to our YouTube channel and search goal setting. I'm actually doing it right now. And I got 15 seconds. I can do this. I can't remember if I actually I do have a worksheet. Okay. Here. All right, we're starting. I'm going to put my thing up in a moment here. I'm going to paste that link into there. That's just good for y'all to have anyway. I really like that workshop. And our second sprint has started. So you better be writing. I'm going to start writing. And I will see you all in like 19 minutes and 50 seconds now. Happy writing. All right, folks, and that is our second sprint done. How did everybody do? I hope things are going well. Let me pause my music here. Shelly got a nice 539. That's fantastic. Um, I got 771 that time around. So I am taking a lot more breaks in these sprints to look at my notes because we're getting to the part where things are starting to get revealed or at least partially understood, and I want to make sure I get them right. So still a sprint, but a sprint with some pauses. Rosalind, 125 edited words, excellent. Ashley, 781, fantastic. You beat me by 10 words. Look at you go. Chris, still reading, but got some good ideas. I hope you're jotting them down so you don't forget them. Elena 196, Emily 433, Electrical 289. Slower this time, but still progress. I totally forgot that I had coffee. So bummer, man. And B had to take a call, 255 words, but you're gonna get your groove back for a third and final sprint of the day. That's fine. That's awesome, and I think you're gonna do well this time around. Calls are important though. The reason I asked before about what kind of content you want to see, aside from wondering what kind of content you want to see, obviously, is that I try to do a public non-premium workshop every few months. And I'm trying to figure out which topic I want to tackle. So if you aren't a Dabble Premium member and there is a topic about writing that is interesting to you, let me know what kind of thing you'd like to see. I'll see if I can put together a workshop for it, or if we have a premium one that I can leverage and bring to the masses here. Ashley has wine. That's the secret. See, if I were drinking wine instead of coffee, or not coffee, I guess, then I would have got 11 more words in. Would have had the most. David got 267 words. Fantastic, David. Awesome, awesome. Okay, let me make sure before I forget, because I have a tendency to. We're going to copy everything from that second sprint, which includes everything from our first sprint. And we're putting it into the third sprint. If you're wondering, Doug, where's the link to the third sprint? Well, it's below me, but it's also coming at you in the chat right now. And we also, for the most part, link to the next sprint at the top of the one that we just did. So if you scroll all the way to the top of the wordsprints.org page, you'll see join our next sprint here, and that'll hyperlink you over to sprint number 3. There we go. I do want to take a moment to reflect on how much we've written so far, too. Just in the word sprints, we got 3,665 words in the first one, 3,537 in the second one, over 7,000 words today, just from the people participating in the wordsprints.org client. That's fantastic. I'm sorry work was so exhausting, Ashley, but I'm glad you have ways to cope with it. Okay. Let me make sure that we are all set up for our second one here. Okay, so Ashley's drinking wine. I'm about to take a sip of my coffee. What is everyone else drinking? I always come equipped with 2 drinks. Got my coffee and my water. Let me know what you're drinking. An electrical, great job. That's over 600 words total. Fantastic. Yeah, Ashley, I totally empathize with that. Renee got distracted, also drinking water. 158 words. Still good. Still progress. 158 words is 158 more than you had 20 minutes ago. What else do we have here? Erica started a new job today. Awesome. Congrats. What is it that you're doing? And Chris has a decaf Americano. I love the Americano. 6:30 p.m. in the UK, yeah, so caffeine hits a little hard at 6:30. Honestly, after 3 o'clock, can't do it anymore. I will sleep terribly if I do. We have 45 seconds to go. Electrical bottle of rosé would have been nice, but you're at home. Perks of hiding this fact from my parents. Kara, water. I wish you could drink wine, but it would not jive with you. Prescription medication. Yeah, that's much more important than the wine itself. And Shelly is drinking barrel-aged Portland breakfast from Smith Tea Maker. Love it. I love a good tea. Raised in part by some Scottish grandparents, so you know that I love my tea. Okay, let me put this up here. We have 10 seconds to go. I hope everyone has a fantastic last sprint of the day. Get those words written. We'll reconvene here in 20 minutes. I'll talk to you then. All right, everybody, that is our third and final sprint of the day completed. How did everybody do? Shelly got 581. Fantastic. And Jay said I had to step away, but heard the drink question, wanted to answer. I'm having an Izzy, a fizzy fruit juice, fun like soda, but doesn't have bad stuff to hurt your insides. There is, for any of my fellow Canadians, this drink that I've been having called Belicious, and it's carbonated, it's fruity, it has honey in it. And I'm not going to, sit here and espouse the benefits of honey versus sugar because I'm not qualified to do so. But honey tastes delicious, and these drinks taste delicious. A little more expensive than soda pop, but 45 calories for a can. Oh, I have been loving them. So thanks for inspiring me to share that. It's a delicious. No sponsorship, no ads or anything. Just thought I'd share. Chris got 61, Rosalinda 217, Renee 243, Emily 445, Ashley got 796 and 2402 in total. JM got 1214 total, David 411. B, secondary character is mean. You managed 557 this sprint and a total today of 1361. That is fantastic. You should all be proud of yourselves for putting in the hard work today, whether you could join me for all three sprints or just one of them. Honestly, even though I can't say this to your face, I am proud of you for showing up and putting the work in to get closer to being finished your book. It is so easy to skip a sprint, to skip a writing day. We say no 0 days here, and we say it like this creed that we stick to, but it is hard to stick to that. So I am very proud of you for doing that. I think you owe yourselves a congratulatory pat on the back, and I really like that you hung out with me here today. Don't forget to copy and paste your words if you are writing in word sprints with me. Otherwise, we have our normal Thursday word sprints tomorrow. That'll be Hank hosting them. And we also have Mastering the Alchemy of Emotions, Words, and Characters with Jen Braxma tomorrow. And Hank will be doing that as well at 2 p.m. Eastern. That'll be right here on the YouTube channel. So make sure you're subscribed. Hit that thumbs up so that I know that you liked hanging out with me for this time. And if we see you tomorrow, we'll see you tomorrow. Otherwise, have a fantastic weekend, and I'll see you next week. Bye for now, everybody.